So today what I need to do is go ahead and get the rams pulled out of these pens with the ewes, kind of get them separated around, so then that way I can put an end date to lambing 2025. So in general, we've been pretty busy around here, and I've actually left these rams in a little bit longer than normal. Couple reasons for that. These two Suffolk ram lambs that I had, since they didn't go in until about 17 days or so after the mature rams went in with those ewes, I've just kind of let those mature rams stay in their pens. Everybody's been marked. Over here in Frosty's group, he hasn't marked anybody since the end of the second set of 17 days, so everybody in his group got marked there within that 32-day period, which is great. We actually put a third color crown on him, and he made no new marks. The weather type ram is currently the only ram left with the marker on. I've taken the markers off all the rest of them. The reason for that being, he still has that group of ewe lambs in there with him. They've been in there, I think right now it's been about 21 or 22 days, which is no big deal. If not all of them end up being bred, it's no problem. I just put them in there because we had them, kind of help push back lambing. The reason for this being is, I needed them not to have a lamb until they're at least a year old, and they were all born at the end of February. So this will put them lambing into March. I like to give them a shot there in their first year. If they end up bred, great. If they don't, no problem. We'll hold them back and try them again the next year. So in 2025, we're going to have a really extended lambing period, a little bit longer than we've had in the last couple of years. Couple reasons for that. One of them being Easter this next year is in April, and so that's usually the highest lamb market in our region. A lot of lambs get shipped to the stockyards at that time, and with us purchasing lambs at market price from producers in our area, this way we'll have some ewes having lambs basically from January all the way to March for some of these later ones. That's really not a big deal for us, just because we'll be able to just pull those and put them in our finishing groups and market them a little bit different that way, and kind of help curb the cost of those higher priced lambs, because we'll be able to produce 2 or 3 in each group that we'll need to purchase in, and that'll really help us on keeping our numbers where they need to be at to help support our restaurants and our wholesale. And then, like I said, this group of mature Suffolk ewes here behind me, they were all marked in their first 2 cycles, which is a really good thing. The only things that will be a little bit behind those, will be the 7 Suffolk ewes that we had split up between the 2 ram lambs. So to start off, what I want to do, I want to halter our ram Earl, tie him up, open up the pen of ewes that he's in with, because I want to take these 2 ewes down here in the bottom corner. Those are 2 Suffolk ewes that we elected not to have bred this year just because they were born at the end of February. Also, one of those 2 will probably be one of the ewes. Well, one of those 2 will be one of the ewes that we take to the Ohio State Fair in 2025 as a yearling ewe. And so we just decided to keep those 2 sisters together. And so what we want to do is pull those out of that far pen, put them over there with the 5 other ewe lambs that are their age. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this big yearling ram, Frosty, out of his pen with his ewes and put him down there in the bottom in the pen where those 2 ewe lambs are. Then I want to tie up Rooster here and just tie him up in this pen. Take these 2 ewes here out of Rooster's pen, put them into Frosty's pen, because those are both yearling or older ewes already, and put them in with that group. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring Earl in and put him over here with Rooster. They've shared a pen before. This pen's 8x8, so we'll be able to keep a good eye on them, make sure they're not beating themselves up too much, and basically still monitor their feed, continue getting them to grow, because one of those 2 rams will be one of the ones that we take to the Ohio State Fair in 2025 also as a yearling ram. And then last, we'll go ahead and get a halter on this weather ram, get him loaded on the trailer. We're going to take him down to the bank barn, put him in his own pen over there. The reason for that being, it's not that he isn't friendly or anything else like that, it's just that he's a little bit more feisty than the other rams, and being territorial, I don't want to put him in with Frosty because he's a lot shorter and rounder and lower to the ground, and Frosty's a traditional Suffolk, has a little bit more leg on him. I just don't want him in there fighting, tearing anything up, or getting hurt. So we're just going to split those 2 up, and the place for him will be over at the bank barn.
Oh, gotcha.
Let's tie him up over here in the back. Come on, girls. Oh, why did you do that? So our sister went on ahead over there and got in that pen like she's supposed to. So now we're going to do this a little bit different. Bring your foldable gate right over here. We gotta separate off these two Ewes that don't come out.
Fighting already.
This one goes. Let her out if she's willing to go out. No, come on, girl. I got you. Go. Okay. Wait, let me close this up.
No. Get back.
Okay, I'm gonna pull him out.
Okay.
And we close this. Hang on, let me tie him up.
Which ear are you going for?
I'll go in this one, I'll just go on the bottom. Because she's pulled her ear tag out of the top piece, one right there. I might just go right there, I think, on the inside more. What do you think?
That's just a new jewelry.
That's her original scrapey tag. Okay. Leave that halter, take that halter off her. Don't jump, Willow. Whoa, bud. Whoa, bud. Whoa, bud. We got you. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Whoa. No. No, 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 no. God dang. What? Okay. Oh, golly. Hey, back. No, girls, move, move. Come on, Willow, go. Follow her. No, up there. Yeah. Like you're blocking them. Okay. Pull that gate close. I'm gonna go ahead and put Earl in here with him. Ow. Oh, I get what you're saying about Frosty. Watch your back out there. Frosty, if you let me take your halter off. Don't let that little grimy get you, Rooster. The spin of death here. These two are going to. Oh. Already getting some good head butts. Hey, do me a favor. Yeah. Grab me one of them halters I set down over there quickly, if you can, please. Oh, I didn't pay, I was just watching him. You're not gonna let me just put it right on you right now, are you? I guess you are. Okay.
You recorded that.
Yeah. Open the gate.
You gotta get the trailer, man.
I'll just put him on the trailer right now.
Without it.
He's walking. We'll see. We'll tie him up down here. I don't want him to tear up this pin, though. First thing, let me go ahead and get this off you. Come on out here, bud. Watch out.
Out here to see this.
Overall, really happy with the whole move situation here at the house. These two Rams, you can see them, they're gonna go around a little bit. Of course, you know, it's been probably, since beginning of September, so about 2 months now. They haven't been in there with each other. They've been with each other since we basically, a couple weeks after we brought this one home. They'll beat around on each other a little bit, but with this pin, I'm not too worried about them getting hurt. But that also is the reason why we don't have Frosty in there with them. He's just so much bigger, and I don't want these three in there just pounding on each other, beating up on each other, riding each other around. They can tear up a lot of stuff if all three of them are wanting to go at it. But we got this set of 3 Suffolk Rams right here, separated off. And so this ewe that we took out of Rooster's pen and put in here with these other mature Suffolk ewes, that's her scrapey tag we put in there. But we have hers, her sister's, and basically the way you think about it, her cousin's scrapey tag over in that box. We ended up putting hers in there since we were moving her around. When we go to clean out all these pins here in the next 3 weeks to a month or so, we'll go ahead and tag the other 2 with their scrapey tags. I just never ended up putting them in there because we weren't sure what we were doing with those ewes, so I didn't end up using them. But I had them off on the side, basically assigned to those ewes, and that's what all our records are drawn back to. And with her and her sister, they both have lost their basically farm tag. And they look so similar that it's very hard even for me to tell them apart. So I just wanted to make sure I got that tag in there before I put her back here in a pen with her sister. And of course, this set of ewe lambs here, they're going to bounce around, run around, have a lot of energy. They've all been together at some point throughout this whole summer and fall, but they're just all back together again. And, you know, it's just going to make it a little bit easier because this group is on a different feeding plan than the mature ewes. They get a little bit more feed than the mature ewes. We watch them a little bit more, making sure that they're getting all their needs met because they are still actively growing also, still putting on body mass and fully maturing. So everything actually ended up going really smooth. We thought about this. We kind of planned it out before we even came out here in the barn, so we knew what moves we were going to make, kind of which gates we're going to be setting up and which animals and which order we're going to go. This ewe that we took out of Rooster's pen and put here into this group, she's in here with her sister and theoretically her cousin also. They all 3 look very similar. Her and her sister are basically identical, and they both actually had lost their farm tag that we put in their ear when they're born. And so I ended up going ahead and putting her scrapey tag in just because I didn't want any confusion since they were both exposed to different rams. So that way I can still tell the difference between her and her sister, and I just wanted to do it right there from the start. Made it pretty easy doing it there in that smaller pen. So they're all going to figure it out and get along just fine, just like these rams back here. These two rams have been together multiple times during the summer. Before they were ever in with ewes, they stayed right next to each other. They shared a pen up at the state fair also. But they're going to battle it out, see who's in charge of this pen for sure. That's what they're going to do, jump around, ride each other, do some headbutts. But within a day or so, they'll be fine. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to put that big ram Frosty in with them. He's just so much more muscular, mature ram. Put him in there with them. He could just basically beat them both up. And then also you have all three of our Suffolk rams would be fighting, breaking our gates, knocking stuff over, making a mess in the pen by knocking over their water and everything else. So just a little bit easier to separate everybody out so everybody gets their own spot, and things should go okay with them there. But going forward, what I want to do is when I end up doing a clean out of this and cleaning all these pens out, I want to actually extend this pen over probably another 4 feet. I'm going to build another one of those hay racks, set it there, and then all of our registered Suffolk will lamb out up here in this area of the barn. They'll all have their own pen. That way I don't have to worry about 2 or 3 ewes all having their lambs on top of each other, trying to figure out who the mom is. And another big reason, these Suffolks are a little bit bigger framed than our weather type ewes over there. So I need to make sure that their nutritional needs are being met. So they're going to actually get fed a little bit different than those weather ewes, get a little bit more hay, and they're actually going to get just a little bit more grain here through the pregnancy, just so then that way I know that they're all staying in a good body condition score because of their size. But overall, the ram that was in this pen, our weather type ram, this was the one that was giving me the most concern, only because he was the most rambunctious when he was in here with his ewes. He was the one who would charge the gate when you'd walk by. He'd follow you up and down the pen, keep an eye on you, throw his ears back, charge at you. He would never like bounce off the gate or anything, but he was always letting you know he was there watching you. And with this pen being a lot bigger and all these ewes in there, I didn't want him to get everybody running around, getting them all wound up. Because if this set of ewes all got wound up, then that set of ewes over there would start getting wound up, then all the other sheep would start getting wound up, and it would just make a mess, because you can see how easy it is for these guys to jump these gates we have. But I was really surprised, but really glad also, that ram just let us throw that halter on him right there and walk him out and put him on the trailer. That ram handles good. I don't know if he would want me to do that if I was in the pen with him. I hope he does, but you just never know with these things. They're all animals at the end of the day, and they only think about a couple of things. So what we want to do now is go ahead and run down to the bank barn so we can get him unloading his pen and get those lambs over there sorted out. So we just got over here to the bank barn. Rachel's dad's finishing up the last of me and Rachel's corn. They started combining here yesterday on our corn, doing between that field and then this field over here that's on this side of the bank barn. This field here had a lot more wind damage from the hurricane. We had some wind take down some corn right there in the middle, kind of get all the rows mixed up. So they're finishing up the last little corner over there for us, and that'll take care of all of Rachel and mine's grain for 2024. Some of this corn will actually be turned into our sheep and cattle feed for 2025 and probably even 2026, just because of some of the current prices. Easier to put a little bit more on grain bank right now. So we're going to go ahead and get these lambs sorted around and moved into the pens they need to be into. So right now what I want to do is there's still 3 ewes in this pen from this group of lambs we purchased back in July. I want to get those pulled before they start cycling. And then I want to go ahead and put those 3 ewes over here with these last remaining 3 ewes that we have here in this pen. That way they're all together. Then I want to take these 2 Suffolk rams that we have left here, pull them out, put them in this group here. That should put about 7 lambs in this pen. Should be plenty of room for them there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that weather type ram back in this pen. Little bit taller gate over here. We know he's not going to be able to get out. And then that way he doesn't share a fence line gate or anything with any of the ewes. They're over here. And hopefully that keeps everybody calm and just kind of, nobody tears the place up trying to get to each other. Now I might need your help in here too.
Okay.
Okay. Leave the door open. You stand here, keep downward pressure on the gate, and I'll start feeding these 3 ewes through.
You're going to run that in though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe this is one. Yeah, this is one. I believe this is one. Whoa, girl, whoa. Yeah, open it up.
This one?
I think so. Open it up. Like, is this one? Yeah, that's one too. Open it up. Let me double check my numbers. She a ram or you? Let me go in here and check. This one is you also. Let's stop. Well, wait.
So we got 3 left. Yeah.
3 rams here, right? Yeah, ram. Ram. Okay. Walk out this way. Go over there, open the chain, and then open up the blue gate. Nope. Come on, girls. Come on now. There you go. There you go. No, go around the gate. Come on now. Come on now. Go. This should be easy now. Go. So we actually ended up having 5 ewe lambs in that pen, and after thinking about it there for a second, I think what happened was when we picked them up, I think there was 3 ewes that we knew that were going to be keepers out of that, with 2 other possibles. You know, and with some of these club lambs, they're chasing a certain look and wanting certain genetics in them. And so a couple of these lambs, I think, might be a little bit more on the dwarf side gene pool, just because of how much shorter but full-size body, like this ewe. This ewe has a full-size body on her, and she's just a little bit shorter than even that one next to her. But then her counterpart right behind her is another 6 inches taller than her, and they're all in the same lambing group there. So I don't know, it's just something, I think that's what it was. When we picked them up, we knew there was more ewes in them, but a couple of them are probably just going to be into finishing out and sending off into the meat production with a couple keepers. But overall, you know, I forgot all about that. Really glad we got them moved, because you can tell a couple of these ewes are probably right in the beginning of the heat or getting ready to come into heat. Of course, these rams over here, that's actually kind of good and bad. I don't like them having so much room over there, just because they're all good-sized rams, all basically almost finished or, you know, full-grown for their age. So they're going to be beating around on each other for a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and get him unloaded and put here in this pen. Come off there, bud. So we got him put away over here. He should do just fine. He, you know, unloaded great. I left the halter on him. Usually I hate doing that, but just because moving him, it's just easier. Once it's on a ram this size, I'm just going to leave it on him, especially if I'm just moving there from the house down to the back barn. I went ahead and fed him for the night. He has some hay there hanging up in the rack. One thing I'm going to need to do tomorrow, there's his water bucket. I'm going to bring a chain over so I can hang it up right here in the corner, get it up off the ground, kind of higher, because next weekend is the North American Livestock Show and Expo down in Louisville, Kentucky, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get all the rams moved around today, because we'll be down there at that, and our farm sitter will be here taking care of everything, and I didn't want to have her get in any pens with rams and ewes mixed in together, just because I know how these guys act. I didn't want to put anybody at, you know, basically I know I'm getting in there every day to put some hay bales into places and, you know, whatever. And I know the risk that I'm taking. I just didn't want to put that unneeded risk on somebody else. So went ahead and got everybody moved around. The only thing left to do, like I said, is tomorrow I'll get that chained up. But we'll get back over to the house, get everybody fed there, make sure they're doing okay for the night, and check on them. Well, that'll wrap this one up. Got a lot done today, really. Kind of made a really good plan for ourselves. Took it slow, figured out everything, and it went really good. Had no mishaps other than that one ewe right in the beginning jumping in the next pen, but she's a jumper. She gets out of pens a lot, so, you know, whatever. We got her moved around, but everything ended up going good. Well, that'll wrap this one up. Thanks for watching.